So let's review the strategies, and we'll do one together, all right? First of all, I'm going to number the paragraphs, and I've done that on mine, but I'm going to make it a little darker. Yes, I can trade pencils with you. I'll switch yours, unsharpened for sharpened. Okay, so I have, every time I see an indentation, I'm going to number my paragraphs. And I see that I have 5. The second thing that we've talked about is chunking the text, putting them in smaller sections. So I'm going to pick maybe paragraphs 1, 2, and 3, draw my horizontal line. And you have the passage in front of you, and so you might want to follow along and have your paper look like my paper. Let's review our strategies. Because are these just things that you do with me in ELA? No. Do these strategies, do you think they will help you in Mr. Alfred's class?
Yes.
Will they help you in Mr. Hodges' class?
Yes.
Will it help you in Miss Jackson's class in math?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so reading is reading, and I read across content. It doesn't matter whose class that I'm in. But if the passage looks long, if I chunk it and put it closer together, put it in bite-sized little pieces, I probably will have some success. Okay? Then the third thing, we're going to underline and circle with a
Pencil.
With a pencil. We're going to read with the pencil, but we're going to underline and circle with a purpose. Okay? Things that are not clear to me. Things that I have a question about. Things that I need to clarify. Okay? We're going to underline and circle with a purpose, and I'll do that for you and with you. But then on the left margin, I'm going to write one thing, and on the right margin, I'm going to write something else. So on the left margin, I'm going to put what the author is saying. So look at yours, and I'm going to actually label it. Left, Donald, sit up. And I'm going to label it right. I'm going to give you a good, clear view of the entire text. My entire paper, so you can see. On the left side, I'm going to write what the author is saying. And put a question mark. I'm going to summarize as I go along on the left side of my margin. And then on the right side, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to dig deeper. So that I have a clear understanding. And I need a pencil. And I need a highlight. I need my tools to help me. Now, this text is nonfiction. About nonfiction. Nonfiction. I have an N and I have an F, and they stand for two different things, and that lets me know what it is. Who haven't I heard from at all? Demarius, tell me about nonfiction. Okay, so it's not fake, it's true factual information, correct? Okay, now, who can tell me 60% of that PARCC test? Tell me about 60% of that PARCC test. Come on, Jaquan. It's going to, well, 60% is one of those, reading or writing, and then 40% is something else. Phone a friend. Who did you phone?
60% of it is writing,
and the 40% is?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice, okay? What type of text are you going to encounter on the PARCC? What type of text? Fiction or nonfiction?
Nonfiction.
Mostly nonfiction. So we've got to be able to dig and dive into expository text. Okay, text like out of a textbook. Text that's going to give us information. So it's not going to be a beautiful, flowery setting, plot, theme, right? We're going to dig into this text. And so for our I do, what I want you to do is as I do, you are doing and watching. Okay? As I do, you are doing and watching. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do, because I know my test taking strategy, if I have questions. Are there questions? No, so I don't have any questions to preview. I have my title, Natural Mimics. I can even wonder about my title even before I get started. Natural Mimics. Natural. Natural. Okay, that means before anything is added. So maybe I can write that down. And to mimic something, to mimic. Maybe that means a copycat or a copy of something. If I break down that title just by itself, that's going to help me understand what it is that I'm reading. And I'm going to read it paragraphs 1, 2, and 3. And at my horizontal line, I'm going to summarize on the left side. And then I'm going to read paragraphs 4 and 5. And my underlining and highlighting with a purpose, this read is words that I'm not familiar with. All right, so I want everybody to sit up straight and tall, and I want you to follow along with me. Paragraph 1. Animal and plant species evolve in different ways to survive in nature. Evolve. I'm going to highlight that. Or I can underline it. Evolve. Animal and plant species evolve in different ways to survive in nature. When animals and plants evolve, they change over time. One of the most fascinating ways a species can evolve is by becoming a mimic. Man, they mentioned evolve 3 times. Okay, so I'm going to highlight every time so that I can go back and try to come up with a definition. Evolve. Paragraph 2. A mimic is a plant or animal that takes on the appearance of another plant or animal. The model or the species that is being copied is usually poisonous. There's that word from my title, mimic. So I'm going to highlight that word, mimic. Paragraph 3. Scientists believe that mimics develop the features of another species to become less interesting to predators. In other words, the mimic is trying to avoid getting eaten. Predators stay away from the mimic because they think the mimic is poisonous. As a result, the mimic population is better able to survive in the wild. There we are again with that word, mimic. But then they use this other word that I've heard in science, predator. All right, so let me go back, and I'm going to do something on the left side and the right side. The left side, I'm supposed to be talking about what is the author saying. So let me try to summarize. Animals and plant species evolve in different ways to survive in nature. When animals and plants evolve, they change over time. Okay, so animals and plants change over time. All right, it did say that. All right, it says change over time. When animals and plants evolve, they change over time. Oh, that's what evolve means. Because it gave me my definition right there. So I'm going to put that on my right side. So the word evolve is right there in the text, and I'm going to copy it. It means they, what? Change over time. So I have a new word. All right, that takes care of one word. Okay, so let me keep summarizing. What are they saying? Okay, they change. Animals and plants change over time. Okay, cool. All right. One of the most fascinating ways a species can evolve is by becoming a mimic. So I'm gonna say they can become a mimic. Okay, but then I highlighted that word. It wasn't clear. Let me keep reading. A mimic is a plant or animal that takes on the appearance of another plant or animal. Man, if I keep reading, they keep giving me what?
The word mimic.
They gave me the word mimic, and they also gave me the,
Definition.
they're giving me the definition. Sometimes I have to read and reread. Okay, so here on my right side, as I'm digging deeper, I have the word mimic, and it means to take on the appearance of another plant or animal. Take on the appearance, you slide it over, of another plant or animal. Okay, this is getting better. Is it getting clear for you? Because it's getting much clearer for me. Yes.
I noticed something. You know, I was watching senior student news
Mm-hmm.
when they did the 3D printer.
Yeah.
The people, they're mimicking real life people.
They're mimicking the appearance of President Obama, right? So that's my connection to mimic. Good job, Chris.
On the left, I didn't get to finish adding it.
All right, you didn't get to finish adding. All right, what I have, animals and plants change over time. They can become a mimic. So far, that's all I know what the author is saying.
I didn't finish the definition.
Okay, I'm going to help you. Mimic. Animals take on the appearance of another plant or animal. Right there in the text. Question.
I think there's a lot of things that we are mimicking. Like according to what you were doing now, based on what you writing, we were copying it.
You're mimicking me, aren't you? And that's what, when I do my I do, and I'm modeling it for you, I want you to mimic, okay? I want you to not just do it with me. I want you to do it when I give you a code text, a text that you've never seen before.
And we learn new things every day.
You should be, I hope so. I work hard so that you're learning new every day. Paragraph 3. Scientists believe that mimics, or plants and animals that take on the appearance of other plant and animals, because now I can use my definition, develop the features of another species to become less interesting to predators. In other words, the mimic is trying to avoid getting eaten. Okay, so then let me think about what a predator, let me see, because I highlighted that word, predator. Okay, if I have a mimic, and they're trying to avoid getting eaten, so a predator must be what, Jaquan? Attacking the mimic. So a predator is something that does what?
Attack the prey.
Attacks prey. Cool. A predator attacks prey. Do I have to have this long, elaborate definition?
No.
Okay, and notice I defined the word and I didn't pick up a dictionary. Am I going to give you a dictionary on the part?
No.
No, you've got to use your context